What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jimmy Wormy, and just the other video I decided to go through the numbers on the Acolyte and how honestly it's pathetic, it's horrific, and it is not beating out Ahsoka anytime soon. But because audiences have been rejecting this, audiences have been calling it out and saying just how awful and horrible it truly is, uh shill media gonna shill media, and just like Disney Star Wars did before the Acolyte came out, they're deciding to attack the fans because you come over here to the gamer. No one hates Star Wars like Star Wars fans. Well, yeah, because actual fans of Star Wars would know what true Star Wars is, and they get the actual say on what is true Star Wars and what not. And passionate fans exist, and they're gonna go after stuff that they think is garbage. But what else? Screen Rant, the Acolyte backlash, a review bombing explained. What's really going on? Well, if we really want to get into what's really going on, there's several shills actually over on Twitter right now seeing the negative trends that are coming out from the Acolyte itself and are honestly trying to rally everybody to come out and positively review bomb the Acolyte. Heck, when you actually come back over here to the Rotten Tomatoes score itself and you click on all critics, you start seeing interesting things like The Hindu reviewed it and gave it a positive score. I've never heard of The Hindu. Nothing that I know of. And when you start scrolling through this, you start seeing really weird sites that you've never seen before, never heard of before, like The Decider, Austin Burke, Flick Fan Nation, never heard of it. There was another one that I saw that was really weird. Superhero Hype, never heard of. Oh, right here. The News Herald. I've never heard of any of these people. Like it's really weird to see how many people are coming out here who positively review bomb this and positively talk about it. Digital Mafia Talkies. I don't know anything about this dude, but he gave it a 5 out of 5. Hey, perfect show, amazing show. Oh man, it's so interesting to watch, positive review bombing coming out here, positive review bombing, but we only ever talk about the negative review bombing. Oh, what else do we have? Why is the Acolyte getting so many bad reviews online? The review bombing for the Star Wars project has seen a huge disparity in the ratings for the new show. Yeah. Critics love it and are coming out here giving it 10 out of 10s when audiences are being more truthful and saying that it's garbage. Interesting how that always works out. Interesting how they never talk about the positive scores. They only ever talk about the negative scores. Oh, what else do we have? Like clockwork, annoying fans review bomb the Acolyte. Yeah, I know. A lot of very shilly individuals decided to come out here and give it a bunch of positive reviews to try to make it look like awful fans exist. Man, it's like clockwork all the time when this stuff happens. Heck, it's like clockwork when the Mary Sue, Screen Rant, The Gamer, all sorts of other websites come out here and start attacking the fans, trying to say that the fans are the problem, trying to say that it's not what's coming out from Hollywood right now and Star Wars itself, but it's the fans not willing to sit down and accept the garbage that's being fed to them. Oh, we also had from Inverse, the Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars. You are! I could agree with that, Inverse. You guys are really much ruining Star Wars because you're just reviewing it, talking about it, and engaging with it because you get access, because you get props, you get, like, special treatment. There was images that came out before the Acolyte actually dropped of a bunch of people getting to go spend time with Leslie Headland and Dave Filoni, and a lot of those people ended up reviewing the show in a positive light. They ended up saying how amazing and wonderful it is. Interesting how that always happens. Interesting how people like things like that go down, and then when the general audience actually sees the show, they're like, this is garbage. What the heck are you guys talking about? Interesting how that goes on. Well, it's not just going after like fans in general. You also have Star Wars shills. They're attacking people like Star Wars Theory and the Critical Drinker. You have this screenshot. Can we just say we like or dislike Star Wars without being called an ist and phobe? Simple enough. At Critical Drinker, at Mahler. Then you get this dude coming out here saying this. I'm sick and tired of being labeled racist and homophobic simply for being critical of Star Wars. To discuss this problem, I invited a racist and homophobe on the show. Interesting how they always go after people like Star Wars Theory, the largest Star Wars fan on YouTube, like the biggest channel. Interesting how they always like to go after him. Interesting how they always like to go after Critical Drinker, for example, especially since he got the 2 million subscriber count and has become more legitimate in these shill's eyes and these critics' eyes, and is like one of the massive reviewers on YouTube itself. Heck, he gets noted by several big name critics and several big name individuals as being like a trustworthy critic. Interesting how this stuff always works out. But that's what they have to do right now. That's what Disney, Star Wars, the shills, everybody has to do right now. They can't just sit there and say that the show is bad. We effed up. We put out something that isn't that good. People aren't liking it for justifiable reasons. You know, audiences are the problem. That's what they have to come out here and say. They have to say that it's only the audience that is the problem. It's just toxic fans that are review bombing it. That's the problem here. But take note, they ignore something. They ignore that both the trailers, from the trailer 1 to trailer 2, were ratioed on YouTube well before anybody noticed it, well before it ever happened. This was general audiences coming out here, ratioing it and saying they disliked it. They were not engaged with it. They thought it was a bad thing that was being put out to them, not just on the first trailer, but also on the second trailer. Nobody's been looking forward to the show except for YouTubers like me who want to tear into it. Everybody else is going to realize that this show, it's a bunch of consumers and shills that are coming out here saying, oh my God, greatest Star Wars ever since last Star Wars. The next Star Wars comes out, they're like, oh my God, greatest Star Wars ever since last Star Wars. It's a cycle. It's a thing that always happens. It's a thing that you can constantly see. When I'm taking a look at this going like, it's garbage. It's not fun. It's boring. Heck, we're getting word that next episode of The Acolyte is going to radically change the Force forever. And it's just a show. It's rinse repeat system that we've seen time and time again. It is like clockwork, like the Mary Sue said. We know this happens every time a new Disney project comes out, every time a new Disney Star Wars project comes out, especially, in which people say, hey, we don't like this thing. Well, you're just a hater. Hey, we don't like it for this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. You're just a bigot, homophobic, transphobe. You're just a hater. You're toxic. You're downvoting. You're review bombing everything. But they always ignore the fact that, hey, I pointed out there's a lot of critics from a lot of different platforms that I've never heard of coming out here to positively review bomb it. There's people going around on Twitter that are saying, hey, because of all the haters and toxic fans that come out here to say this show's bad, we need to be going on here and giving it 5 stars out of 5 stars multiple times on multiple different accounts to make it look like it's so positive and loved. You see things like that happen over and over and over again. You start realizing, yeah, this is a system that they have in play. We know this is going to happen. We know this is going down. They don't care about general audiences. They don't care about the actual fans. They don't care about anybody but themselves. They're narcissists. Leslie Headland, Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy all made The Acolyte for themselves. They didn't make it for Star Wars fans. They didn't make it for Star Wars in general. They made it for themselves. They make it for each other. But that's all Hollywood is. That's all the shills are. That's what all the access media does, is they sit down there. They get the show that's tailor-made for their beliefs, and they have to act like it's actually good, because if they say that it's wrong or bad, they lose this special access. They lose the ability to get these special screenings, to engage with Dave Filoni and Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy, and say, oh my God, it's wonderful. You lose these access. So they have to come out here and say this. They have to do this, because if not, they're no longer valid in their own eyes. And it gives the toxic fans, by their own words, a win. When in reality, The Acolyte, for the best case right now, is proof that Disney Star Wars is dead. The fans are right, and nobody likes it, except for YouTubers like me who are looking so eagerly to tear into the next episode, because it's just garbage fan fiction put out by people that don't know Star Wars, don't care about Star Wars, and just want to have some sort of cope session about their own life skills. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me get you guys' thoughts on all this down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it out, friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video go live, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye for now.